Everyone. I came across this article and figured this would be a great time to warn people of rental scams out there because they are very prevalent, especially in this area, and you need to be aware as a renter of what is going on. So, this essentially happened in Maryland, and there was a vacant foreclosed home that the bank owned. And a couple decided to purchase the home, had a signed, ratified contract with the bank. I believe they're expected to close in 3 days on the 28th. And after they signed the contract, the couple decided to drive by the house again and found these three men living in the house. So the wife, tried to talk to the tenants there to see what was going on, and they produced what seemed to be a lease to the house, saying that they were legally occupying the residence and could live there. Eventually, the cops went and looked and saw that the lease is not real. It's not a real lease. However, the men are refusing to leave, saying that they have a lease, and now technically they're squatters living in a house that is not theirs, that they should be in. And now the couple doesn't know what to do, and the police aren't quite sure what to do either. So now the couple just purchased this home that they can't even occupy yet because they have to figure out what is going on. So how does things like this happen? How do people get to just stay in a house that they legally have no right to be in? And this is where the scams come in. And a lot of these scams are found on Craigslist. So how do these Craigslist rental scams work? Craigslist rental scams typically include houses for rent or apartments for rent, but they aren't really for rent. The scammers will first search for houses that are vacant, often foreclosures, that are listed for sale. Then they will use a few of the pictures that are already posted online of the house or the condo that is truly for sale and post it as a house or an apartment for rent on Craigslist. These scammers don't own the house, have never been to the house, and don't even have the keys because they don't really own it. But it's so easy to use the same pictures of an empty house and make it look like it could really be available for rent. These scammers are sneaky and smart and know exactly what they are doing to steal money from innocent people and who are truly just looking for a place to rent. And there's no real way to know where these scammers are actually located, which makes it even more difficult to track down. Now, what's interesting about this article is nobody knows how this group of people was even able to obtain keys since the bank owned the property. So I'm very interested to follow up and see how this group was even able to get a set of keys, because that's very interesting in that article. How do you spot a rental scammer on Craigslist? Unfortunately, there are a lot of scams and you really have to be aware. So here are some red flags that you need to be aware of. The first one is a ridiculously low price on Craigslist. If somebody is advertising a detached home, especially in the DMV area, for $850 a month to rent, it's probably a scam. You may be able to find a room, like one room in a townhome or in a single family home for rent for $850, but you're not going to find a full detached home for that price. It's just not a realistic price. So that would be one red flag. Second red flag, there's no exact address provided. People that are actually renting their house want you to know where it is. They want you to drive by and make sure it's a good neighborhood. They want you to know where the rental is. So if there is no exact address provided, that is a red flag. If there's more than one listing for the same apartment in different areas, huge red flag. Or if you're finding the same pictures for two rental listings, probably fake. Okay. If you are looking to set up an appointment to view the apartment and the owner can't ever meet you at the listing, there's always a last minute emergency or their job, took them out of state and they just say that nobody can meet you, then that's a huge red flag. Typically, if people are moving out of state and trying to rent their apartment, they're not going to just want anybody walking in there. They're going to hire somebody to help them rent the place and allow people to come tour. So that is another red flag. If you hear a constant sob story involved, then that is a red flag that they're advertising a fake rental on Craigslist. Okay, they might have to, rent this apartment as soon as possible to pay for a funeral, or they might tell you a family member was in a bad accident or is very sick and they need to rent the place as soon as possible to pay medical bills. Okay, it's plausible, but it's just something to be wary of if that is constantly what you are hearing. If you're required to put down money before you have the chance to even see the place, that is a huge red flag. Most places or rentals will make you put in an application fee, but even when you do that, you are typically seeing the place beforehand. So the most that you would ever have to pay before you ever see a place may be an application fee, but nobody's going to make you put down a huge deposit for a rental until you've actually seen the place. So do not give anybody money if you have never seen the rental. Okay. And another red flag is improper grammar or punctuation. If there is a paragraph that has like 15 to 20 editing like errors, then that is a huge red flag. Everybody has different abilities in writing, but if you are trying to get people to rent your apartment, you want to trust the landlord that they're going to take care of things and be able to communicate with you. And if is there error after error after error, careless errors, that is a huge red flag as well. So these are things to look out for. The best way to protect yourself, honestly, is having a realtor help you find a rental. It is free for people that are trying to find rentals, which people don't realize. You do not pay for a realtor to help you find a rental, and they are often able to get, able to help you tour places and set you up with an MLS search that has legitimate rentals available that will meet your criteria. So really, it's easy to do, and we're happy to help you, but we just want to make sure you're protected, especially in cases like this. It can be really dangerous out there. So if you are looking for rentals and you are wary of anything, ask somebody, do some research on the internet, look to see if they're using the same pictures for multiple rentals. But really, your best bet is to find a trusted realtor that can help you find the best rental for you.